is your local fitness go-to girl, Fee King. This is the Fee King Show. It is a new addition to the roster. We're adding Mondays at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time until 12 noon. There's a saying, and it's not scripture. I always thought it was, but it's not scripture. Wait a minute. Oh, my little theme song is trying to come on. All right, EVE. All right, EVE. I tell you, there's a saying, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. And so I had a plan. And part of the plan is theme music. Hey, who's that girl? La, 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 la. What's my name? Yo, Fee's that girl. La, 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 la. What's my name? Yo, and it's the Fee King Show. And we're letting nothing and no one distract us from the goal and the dreams at hand. The Fee King Show is all about who are you? What do you do? What's your why? And how in the world are you keeping this thing all together or not? My name is Fee King. I am a sister. I'm an auntie. I'm a cousin. I'm a BFF. I'm a colleague. I'm not a coworker. I'm a colleague. I'm a pet parent. I am a lover of all things life. What do I do? Oh, I'm all about the books, the brand, the business, and helping self and others get to the bank. I help women over the age of 40, specifically, yet not exclusively, get from where they are to where they want to be in their fitness and financial life. How am I keeping it? Oh, why? Because I love myself so much today that it only makes sense to love others where they are. How am I keeping it all together? Woo! I literally just ran in, got things together because exercise is at the core of who I am and what I do and my why. Running, reading, mindfulness, meditation, praying, and training 6 to 7 days a week. There's a book by Chris Crowley and Harry Lodge and Chris Crowley. One of them is the MD. It's titled, You Are Younger Next Year. In this book, he says that women ought to train hard 6 days a week. And if you do, you could potentially live 20 to 30 years healthy, fit, and active after menopause. I was like, he is like speaking my language. This is what I believe. This is what I share. This is what I teach. This is how I guide women, because it is not just about the aesthetics. That is actually the secondary component. I want women and men, especially over the age of 40, to look and feel amazing. Again, if you're just tuning in, what's up, cousin Rosetta? You better answer your phone. Don't make me get personal. Don't make me get personal on the show. The show today is all about, are you still in these streets hustling? Are you still in these streets hustling? Whether you are self-employed, unemployed, a contractor, an entrepreneur, a small business owner, a gig worker, you believe in 7 streams of revenue, are you hustling? Let me tell you why we're talking about this thing today. As you all know, and so some of you who may just be tuning in, or maybe you're just getting hit to my channel, thank you for being here. Feel free to buy a badge or a star, because that continues to help me push out this content, and it continues to help me support the unhoused community. And I want to tell you something. One of the things that it has been placed in my heart, and I know that I've been called to do it, and it terrifies me because I don't quite know the how, and then I know that the how is not my responsibility. But I guess, stop it, Nelson. Sorry, y'all. I was also a little late because I had to let Nelson in. Let me tell you something. If you have cats control your life. Like Nelson, he controls me. I don't need kids because I have a cat who I allow, right? Because we get to take responsibility. I allow the freaking A cat to control me. So when you support with buying a badge or a star on Facebook, a badge on IG, that also helps me to continue to do the work that I'm currently doing for and with the unhoused community, and the work that I intend to do, because I know that that is a big part of my calling. And so I do Uber. I'm an Uber driver and I love it. I have a friend a couple years ago when I've been doing it for 5 years. My friend has been doing the eating portion of it, the eating side of it, the food, DoorDash. And so he was sharing with me that he kind of sometimes feels some sort of way about sharing that he does it. Like sometimes I think for many of us, shame comes up. right? Or the fear of being judged. I have another friend who's an actor in LA, and he was doing Uber for a while, and he ended up picking up a casting director, a very well-known casting director who had cast him in projects in the past. And I was like, I have no shame, no fear of judgment, no guilt around it. I feel utter gratitude for this platform that allows me to build my foundation. It allows me to see my dream even more clear and my vision for my life condition. It allows me to connect with people in a way that I know for sure I would not be able to connect with. Passenger got in my car last night, and he was so vibrant and upbeat and cool. And then he said, "Sis, I see you out here hustling." I was like, okay, quick, process it. Because one of the things that I don't want to do is I don't want to come off hoity-toity. I don't want to come off rude. I also know that it's usually a teachable moment. And so I get to teach him that no, Fee King is not out here hustling. That is not what we're doing anymore. Fee King is not out here grinding. Think about when you go to the coffee shop or when you make coffee at home. I need to make coffee at home. The kind of money that I spend on coffee, it's shameful. The sound that the system makes when it's grinding coffee, it sounds vicious. It sounds difficult. It sounds hard. It sounds aggressive. It sounds painful. I don't want any parts of that. And I know it used to be cute. Yeah, I'm out here in these streets hustling and grinding, meaning I'm doing it. I'm being all the things and I'm making it happen. I don't know, does it? Because it sounds harsh. And I know for me, when I was hustling, I want to share with you the definition of hustling. All right. So it's usually associated with street life, drug dealing, again, street life. And so the word hustle means that you work hard. Oh, girl, I'm out here getting it. I'm doing it. You see what I'm doing? You see me? Y'all see me? It means that you work hard every single day. It means you do the things other people won't do. Yes, that part is me. And you do them with a sense of joy and purpose because you love it. It means working smarter. I don't know that it means working smarter. I know for me, when I was hustling, it also means hurry. I'm constantly reminding myself to slow down and to breathe. And I remember when I started doing Lyft, fam, I was working hard, tirelessly, 7 days a week, 65 plus hours a week, excuse me. Can you imagine there being 65 hours? I was working 65 plus hours a week. I was taking naps in East Potomac Park in DC. I would leave, and part of that work was going to the gym, of course, taking a really short break in the car for lunch. I had eventually, when I was up to that amount of hours a week, I had one private training client. She lived in DC, then she moved to Cheverly, just one. So I was putting in a lot of hours and I was rushing. I mean, moving fast. And Sekou and I talk about this all the time, where you're not more productive, you're not getting more done, you're not making more money. So you may as well figure out how to work smarter versus harder. And I'm still a work in progress because I tend to move with when my energy is at its peak. My energy is at its peak early in the morning until around 1 or 2, and then I start to crash. My peak is again in the evening. And what Uber gives me is this insurmountable amount of quality and quiet time in the car to tap into my creativity. And then I'll pull over and I'll write, whether it's in my cell phone or whether it's with a tablet. I'll do some social media, I'll return text. But for me, I said hustling is not working for me. And so I don't want to claim that anymore. I'm not hustling. What I am now doing is I am planning and placing it in God's hand. Can y'all say that with me? PPIGH. Planning and placing it in God's hands. Because I know and I believe and I am proof that The how is not my responsibility. So how I get there, the vehicle that I use to get me from where I am to where it is I want to be is not for me to know. It's for me to trust and for me to keep having dreams and for me to continue to implement and to stay in action, right? So when that passenger projected hustling onto me, I lovingly gave him a different perspective. And I shared with him how I am planning and placing in God's hand and how I no longer am hustling. Because also with hustling, at least for me, and maybe some of you can relate to this, let me know if you can relate to this. With hustling came a lot of fear and a lot of poverty. My mindset was in a state of poverty and lack. Like if I don't always do it, it's not going to happen. And the more I release and relax and trust, the more I receive. And I get to say this out loud because I get to constantly and consistently remind myself, Felicia, you are on the path. Felicia, God is working on your behalf, and God is working in the background. Like you have no idea. And then I realize I do. I realize I've always gotten what I want and what I need. Haven't you always gotten what you want and what you need? Always. God has always provided, especially when you allow God to work through you, when you stay in action, right? So I was remembering this weekend, I was remembering all the things and all the times I've wanted something and I've been able to manifest it. And as you all know, Monday is my favorite day of the week. It's Manifested Monday, which requires a new hat, because as an entrepreneur, as someone who is self-employed, as someone who is a contract worker, as someone who's a visionary with big, big, big dreams that terrifies her, you, me, us, I get to wear many hats, right? We get to wear the hats. And so I was thinking about all the times from doing my one-woman show in LA, in Omaha, in Northern California, in North Carolina, in Scotland. I was like, girl, it's like, stop tripping. And then I find myself apologizing to God. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I apologize. And I remember that my purpose, I remember that I am here to inspire people. I want someone to look at Fee King and say, because of you, I didn't give up. Because of you, I kept going. Because of you, I didn't stop and take my life. Because of you, I took a break and I got right back on and I got right back in. And because of you, and because of whoever is out there who's inspiring you, who's encouraging you and motivating you and showing you by leading as an example. This is their example. This is our testimony. And so I was thinking, okay, so you did that, right? And you get to share with other people how they get to remember how great they are. You get to remember how great you are. And so when I was doing Lyft, this was about, I think, I'll never forget. You want to know why? It was during the time of the insurrection at the White House in DC. Because there was a rally of some sort. And I remember them talking about all of these mega Trumpsters were going to be in town, these people full of hate. And I got scared. I got really scared. And I was like, oh, I don't know that I want to drive, because what if, right? Like, have you ever just what if yourself to death? What if all the bad, negative, low vibrating things happen? But I was scared. Like I said, you know what? I get to acknowledge that I'm having feelings of fear. I'm not scared actually, but I'm having these feelings of fear. So what do? I said, you know what? You get to feel fear and do it anyway. You get to feel fearful and do it anyway. I did not want to drive this night. I did not want to drive. I get in the car. I said, you know what? You have been tasked with something so incredible and so powerful. And Lyft and Uber is the vehicle that you've chosen to get you from where you are to where you want to be. All right. So get your butt in the car and get it done. I get in the car. My first trip took me from Baltimore City to Annapolis. Annapolis is beautiful. It was around 7:00 at night. I really didn't want to go to Annapolis. I didn't. However, I did. I get there, drop my passenger off. I get another ride request. I'll never forget. This person's name is Michael. In the messaging system in Uber, or Lyft, I think it was Lyft, he said something about I'm here and I love you. I was like, mm-mm. Woo! I was like, here we go, creepers. But my spirit said, show up, check in with your gut. Like really, your intuition needs to be on point at 100. I said, if anything looks or feels off, I'm out. Like I'm just gonna pull off. And I've never done that before. I pull up. It was like a strip mall with restaurants. Most of the things were closed. It was two Caucasian guys. One was kind of husky, big guy. The other one, younger, had long hair. And so I pull up and I confirm, and I could tell that they weren't drunk, but they had been having some dinner drinks. He gets in the car, and he gets in the car, and instantly he starts asking me questions about my hairstyle choice or lack thereof. He was so interested. And his friend, who was more tipsy, young guy, he requested Outcast. He wanted to hear Outcast. So the older guy who called the Lyft, his name was Michael, or his name is, I'm sure he's still around. His name is Michael. Michael says, if you put up with my friend, I promise I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to tip you well. Don't worry about it. And I was like, okay. So I had my other cell phone connected to Pandora. I put on Outcast. The young guy with the long hair, he was so into it. Like he was so into it. Michael, the older guy, not so much. He was like, oh, I can't stand this rap. So we're talking and I'm answering his questions about my hair. And he thought that I had cancer. He thought that either I had cancer or I was recovering from cancer. And I was like, no. I said, no, thank God. I said, I have an autoimmune disorder. And it's taken me so long, y'all, to say the word disorder, because usually I'll say condition or whatever. It's all the same. I have an autoimmune condition, situation, disorder that your hair, the cells, your hair follicles turn on you. They like attack you. And so that's essentially what an autoimmune disorder does. Like your body basically turns on itself. So I said, I lost my hair, but I decided to shave it, et cetera, et cetera. And so he was so interested and he seemed to have so much compassion. And then he said, but you're beautiful. And whenever people say, but, I'm always like, it's almost like, and my beautiful brown, dark skinned sisters can relate to this. It's almost as if someone says to you, you're so pretty to be dark or for a dark girl. And so when people say that to me, you're pretty for a bald woman, I'm just like, ugh, just give the compliment without all the extra. But I'm working on not taking everything personal. And so I let that one slide. We get to they work together. They were in town working on a project. We get to where I guess it was an Airbnb, and the younger drunk guy gets out. So then I'm feeling like, okay, why'd he get out so quickly? Why is Michael still in the car? Michael was still in the car because, let me share with you why Michael was in the car. He reaches for his, no. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I'm going to make this happen. It's, oh my gosh. It was just here. Sekou was like, make sure you rehearse. And I did. And it's not. He reaches for his here. Oh my gosh. Oh no. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I'm going to make this happen. So you guys, I may have messed up. Oh my gosh. It was just here. Sekou was like, make sure you rehearse. And I did. This is what happens when you go live. This is what happens when you go live. So we're almost at the end. And you hear the feedback. It's because I was looking for the photo. So I'm going to share the photo right after this broadcast, because it was, for me, it was, I've got to get out of, I think it's because of Facebook, you guys. This is why when you have a producer, when you're going live in the way that I'm going live, is so beneficial. And so listen, one monkey don't stop no show. This was a night where I didn't want to drive Uber. And I decided to drive anyway. And I was blessed beyond measure because Michael, who said he was going to leave me a tip, people say that all the time. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. And I don't live my life by expecting tips. When they come, it's an added bonus, it's an added blessing. Michael reached into his wallet, pulled everything out of his wallet, everything, every green dollar bill out of his wallet. And he just handed it to me. And thanked me. That was it. He didn't ask for my number, right? I was like, because I was thinking, okay, this is about to go left. He didn't ask for my number. I drove off like shaking. I pulled over into a lit area. I counted the money. It was $770, a $770 tip. The first person I called was Sekou. This was, I think, whenever the insurrection was, 2021. I called Sekou, and I wish that Sekou was doing the work that he's doing now with stocks, investing, day trading, because 90% of that would have gone in that direction. But what that did for me was confirm that there's some amazing people in this world, and I've encountered them. I've encountered some incredible people. And that the less I worry about where the money is going to come from and how I'm going to get it, the more I receive, the more I give, the more I get back. And so I wish that I would have asked for Michael's number, but I was shocked because I just, and you never know, he doesn't need to hear the thank you from me post the experience, because I thanked him then. And I'll never forget him, because it let me know that money, and Bob Proctor says this in his book, You Are Born Rich, that money has no value unless it's in circulation. So unless you are buying goods and sharing and giving and receiving, money has no meaning. And it's just a tool. It's just a tool for us to get the things that we want and need. It doesn't define us. So thank you so much, Michael. And then there's another Michael who blessed me. And I know that I'm gonna be able to do this one because he's right here. So this Michael, oh my gosh. My screen sharing is paused, so I can't share it. But anyway, this is the Fee King Show. If you hung in there with me through all the blumps and blunders, thank you, Mrs. Susan. She said, yes, Fee, yes. Woo! And again, this would not have happened in this way if it were not for gig work. So for all my Uber drivers, Instacart workers, what is it? It's Amazon Flex, Uber Eats, DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Connects. There's so many, right? Lyft, all of the platforms that allow you to log in and connect with people and connect with the money. Keep your head up. Keep your head up in spite of what they think, in spite of what some may say. Keep your head up and continue to use these platforms to not only make a living and pay your bills, but to connect with people, in a very rich and authentic and a very genuine way. Yes? All right. This is Fee King. This is the Fee King Show. It goes down every Monday and Friday, God willing, from 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time until 12 noon. And if you like my fit, fab, and fine, look at me, fit, fine, and fab, over 40 crop top hoodie, you can grab yours on my website, www. Oh my gosh, hot flash moment, fee, F-E-E, hyphen, King.com. That's www.f as in Felicia, E-E, hyphen King.com. The Calvary ain't coming. You get to save yourself. T-shirts are also on there, so grab one today. Those are my grown woman, female empowerment merchandise that's coming. We're expanding it. Stay tuned. In about another maybe 9 days, I'm going to drop her story t-shirt and full hoodies because we're moving into fall. I'm super excited about that because I'm going to do a pre-launch of my third book, and I need your help. I'm dropping the price so low so that no one can say, you know what, girl, I could have gotten this book and blessed someone else, because I know that you are in the blessing business, speaking. I know that you are in the business of uplifting, inspiring, empowering, and giving women over the age of 40 specifically the tools to help them get from where they are to where they want to be, because none of us ought to ever feel like we're in this thing alone. So I'm dropping that price so that you don't have to forego paying the bill to afford an ebook download. I'm dropping the price so that you don't have to say, girl, I would have gotten this book, but I didn't have any money. I couldn't afford it. Everyone, I assure you, everyone will be able to afford this book. It's titled Her Story, How to Get from Where You Are to Where You Want to Be. It drops, the pre-launch is end of this month, August 30th. The Fee King Show today is being sponsored by Fee King Holdings, LLC. So continue to follow me, continue to engage, continue to share. If there's anything that you enjoyed about this broadcast today, go ahead and share that thing. All right. This is Fee King.